Hi, I'm Lunar, and I am a avid Strongest Battlegrounds player. Been playing it quite a lot recently, and probably my favorite character in the game is Tatsumaki. And as you know, at the moment it is early access, but it is coming out soon. I think the game should be updating soon. They're showing the new early access stuff. Blah. Anyways, uh, since I have a lot of hours in this character, I feel like showing off some of the tips, things that learned by playing this character for this time. So, tip number one, treat Tatsu's passive as a counter, not a shield. Whenever someone hits you with it, it deals 10% damage to anyone and everyone nearby. It is an AoE counter. But you might be saying, Lunar, this is a terrible idea. It's the perfect shield. It's my get out of jail free card. I can heal so much with this. Hey, buddy. Someone could just M1 you at when they're at full HP, and they're gonna be completely fine. When you're doing this, you're most likely at low health. So please, treat it like a counter. It's unbaitable, unlike Garo's and Atomic's counter, because you can just spam it. Treat it like one of their counters. It is just like how they act. It's just in passive form. You can only use it once, so use it wisely. Yeah, that's about it. And that leads perfectly into my second tip. Learn how to counter baits. It is very important to learn. And I mean very, very important. As you may know, all of Tatsu's moves are blockable, or may not. Rushing Pull is blockable. Windstorm Fury is semi-blockable. You can M1 it, M1 with it, and down slam them, or dash around. But it's still pretty ineffective. And Stone Coffin is blockable. And Explosive Push isn't. But what are you saying, man? How does this relate at all? Well, Garos and Atomics are going to be your worst nightmare. Because, yes, they may be just blockable. You can't counter these two moves, but Stone Coffin and Explosive Push are both incredibly easy to counter. And if your Atomic and Garo knows what you're doing, and you're not really knowing what you're doing, you're kind of doomed. They're just going to counter you and make you cry, and you don't want to do that. The simple way to counter them is a crushing pull, 1, 2, 3, and then jump right when they're about to get up. 9 out of 10 Garos and Atomics will counter doing that. It is purely muscle memory. It'll work once or twice. Third time may not. That's why I recommend just going for the down slam the third time, because they're going to expect you to do the counterbait. Pretty simple, but pretty easy to learn. Very good to use in practice. Another thing, as you may know, Tatsu is really good for countering. So just let me... Or not countering, comboing. So just let me delete this dummy, and I'll show you a simple true combo. If they're blocking, you will have to dash around into an M1. But since I don't have VIP Plus because I'm not rich, I can't spawn a blocking dummy. So, yeah. When you use Explosive Push, they will most likely have Evasive and use it. So it's not it's effective if you want to get a little bit of HP gone, but I just recommend you get rid of Evasive and use the combo I'm going to show you. Alright, so first, you can either dash in, like this, or do 3 M1s, uppercut into dash. I'll show you how to do that. Do that. It essentially has the same effect. It deals the same damage. doing three M1s uppercut, or uppercut 3 M1s to uppercut to dash is more effective because it's harder to dodge compared to 3 M1s or dash to 4 M1s to crushing. Here's one of the combos that you need to bait out evasive with. If you actually hit the M1s during Windstorm Fury, it's a guaranteed one-shot combo. The extra dash that I did with Explosive Push isn't necessary, but I just find it both, one, more fun to do, and two, it makes it more consistent in my opinion. And here's another simple combo you can do. It's one shot again if you can land everything properly. If you couldn't already tell, Tatsu is pretty strong when it comes to combos, comparable to Garo. And here's the last combo I'm going to show, which is, again, really strong, that needs you to bait out evasive. If you hit the uppercut, it'll leave them at 3%. Sadly, I skill issued at the game there. But I'm too lazy to try it again. I'm sorry, but I just want to focus because I've been doing this for way too long. Because I'm skill issuing too much. For my fourth trick, Stone Coffin, you can wall combo off it. Now, that leads on to my fifth trick. Stone Coffin is incredibly... wall combos are incredibly strong for combo starting with Tatsu. Just let me bring the dummy over there. Tatsu's kit is incredibly perfectly built for wall combos. Just watch this. Yep, that's right. The wall combo KB leads perfectly into a Stone Coffin. Now, what are you going to do with this information? You start to Stone Coffin as this combo starter. Wow, crazy. You do the 4M1s, or, yep, 4M1s into his dash for Windstorm, so on and so forth. Another thing, Windstorm Fury, you can, when it knocks someone across, alright, that's, and final tip for Tatsu, I really, really recommend you played more zoomed out most of the time. You're probably wondering, why do this? Why? Well, because you can crushing pull everything that's near you as long as it's on your screen. So say a Sonic wants to do their second explosive shuriken. Most people place fairly zoomed in, but if you're zoomed out, you're going to be able to see them while using that move, and you can just crushing pull them in. Sadly, I don't have any friends to show you this in example, but It is a very effective technique, along with a Genos. Some Genos players may have experienced this or not, and you're probably going to be mad at me for showing people this, but yeah, you can do it with Jet Dive too. You can crushing pull people using Jet Dive if you're zoomed out. Yep. You have to do it decently early though, because crushing pull does have a range. But it'll pull you from literally anywhere once it grabs you for the first time. Like, for example, you have to be able to hit crushing pull within the halfway point of their jet dive. Otherwise, 1, they will hit you. 2, you just won't be able to reach them. You can also crushing pull Genoses in ignition burst if you're fast enough. And you can crushing pull Genoses in blitz shot if you're fast enough. Now on to fighting Tatsus, because nobody likes... Tatsus are not going to enjoy fighting fellow Tatsus. It's just not a fun experience. But here's some simple things to counter them with. Explosive push. Crushing pull them. They're not going to have enough time half the time. Windstorm Fury has a very long startup, enough time for you to crushing pull them. Stone Coffin. Just dash away and crushing pull them after. The only thing that you can't really crushing pull is their crushing pull. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment or something. I don't really mind. You can do literally nothing. Click on to the next video. Who cares? Just have a good night, day, whatever you're having. And goodbye.